Minky, you're in the mountains. These are near the western shore of micaerth. And as you walk, it's getting progressively darker. You can hear some faint rumbling in the distance as kind of lightning and thunder ricochet around the clouds above you. You feel an immense heat as lightning shoots from the sky, and it doesn't hit you, but it strikes the earth in front of you. The lightning bolt has left an indentation in the earth. It looks like the flame symbol that you have seen on these pendants, and then the earth begins to tremble underneath you and shake, and you feel unsteady before it begins to, the mountain begins to collapse around you, and you awaken. And ahead of you is a young elven woman.
Oh, are you okay?
And then she's like, what? Oh, yeah, I'm okay.
Did you run into any trouble or something on the road?
I was just climbing this mountain, and I just felt myself get, like, shoved off.
That sounds really scary and really, really dangerous. Do you need a space to rest for a day?
No, I'll be okay. And then immediately, like, passes out onto Minky.
One look hard enough, you can see that it says, like, Pinewood Acres on it. He waves and kind of welcomes you home.
Oh, she's gonna fucking bolt towards him and jump in his arms.
Oh yeah, he stretches his arms out and he kind of picks you up and does one of those like swings you around in the air.
Where am I?
You're in a small farm cottage near Athros. You passed out back there.
Thank you for all you've done, but I really need to get going.
What's so important?
Well, now that I know that I won't be getting those spider lilies, then there's really nothing left for me here.
If that's the way you feel about it, I guess I'll leave you to it.
What's your name?
I'm Dr. Bonnabelle Allison. She says, I recognized the healing water that you initiated to me, and I thank you. I know that's a hard resource to come across.
You'll be like, it's fine. It's okay.
Are you okay? You're acting a little different today.
Liara is gonna step on Minky's foot.
What the fuck is up with her today?
Like, I know she's nice. I know she just wants to help us. But she can't help us. And you know why. She like leans over and she picks up one of the lilies. This is a sunset blooming aurora water lily.
There's like a flash of a smile and she's like, I see it. And then she like looks at her and how close she is and just like fucking blushes and like honestly stumbles backwards a little bit.
Walks up and sees the hair, and her ears perk back up, and she goes, hello.
And it takes a little hop towards you, and a falcon streaks down from the sky and sinks its talons into the rabbit.
Do I feel like anything?
You feel almost like a tremor in the ground. It is emanating out into the distance towards the peaks of the mountain in the distance. The sun is starting to set, but there are kind of dark clouds that are centered around the apex of the mountain. And when you look up at the mountain, you see a brilliant flash of lightning strike the surface of the mountain. He says, I'll show you how to do my signature throw. He shows her the right way to level it, and the angle at which to throw it, and he kind of walks you through this little, like, step-by-step tutorial. You throw it, and it arcs back around this time, and it isn't, like, super precise, but it does, like, lodge itself into the wood, and Doldrin kind of slaps you on the back and starts laughing. He's like, now that's how it's done.
Liara like places her hand on top of hers. Says, you don't have to talk about it.
Bonnie is like startled, but she doesn't move. And she's just like, thank you. I had to complete this. And then she just like gestures to her notebook.
What's the hurry? You seemed like you were like it was so urgent to complete it.
My sister passed away 5 years ago, and I wanted to complete this before the anniversary of her death.
You said your sister passed away. Liara squeezes your hand a little.
So I think she's gonna go to Arthur and be like, Father, have you heard anything from Silvo?
I mean, we've been putting out offerings once a week, like we usually do. I haven't noticed anything off. Is something troubling you?
Do you think she could be mad at me?
No, I don't think she's mad at you. Why do you think she would be mad at you?
It's a lot. Could we talk about it later?
Bonnie, like, tilts her head up and kisses her.
And she's just like kind of sits there in stunned silence for a second. And then she says, "Thank you."
She sees the smoke from the fire. She's like, come on, we should get going back. And she walks in front of Liara, but she wipes a tear away.
Faunish, you have a dream. It's dark. You're not in the woods. I don't think you quite know where you are yet, but it is dark and almost impossible to see anything in front of you, but you do see a distant, like a light out in the distance. You approach the light, and as you walk towards it, you can see a figure, the silhouette of a figure, standing in the light.
Silva? I'm gonna kind of step up my pace a little bit.
And you can see this figure kind of turning towards you, and they call back to you. But it is not Silva. It's a voice that you do not recognize. And it says, "You need to leave." And you can feel that tremor that you felt in the woods rumbling underneath your feet.
What? Why do I need to leave? What's happening?
The figure, a little more forcefully now, just yells at you to go, and you feel the ground start to crumble beneath you, and you start to fall backwards, and then you awaken. Something kind of disrupts you from your meditation, and that's kind of, the sound of Bonnie sitting up in bed, and she is coughing again.
Liara stands up and says, "Are you okay?"
It's like she's reaching out for Liara's hand. Like she wants Liara to come closer.
Liara like fucking rushes over.
Swear to God, if your character dies, like literally not even like a full fucking session, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna kick you out of my apartment. Kyler, if you know Michaela's character, I'll have you know that Michaela will have to sleep in her car.
I haven't been truthful to you. My sister passed away 10 years ago, and we dreamed of finding every single flower. And this dream was so great, I felt I had to try and bring her back so she could come with me. So I made a pact with Noctis. And instead of taking something physical from me, he took time from me. This time is up. But please, she takes her book out. She says, can you please find the last flower?
Bonnie motions over to you.
She's gonna kind of like pop Bonnie's cheek.
Uh-huh.
And like tears are streaming down her face now.
Yeah.
She's like, this is not fair.
She leans in close. Then she starts to lose her strength.
What? What? Who's that? What are you talking about?
And that is all she says.